My name is Tamara Cox, and I work for the Children's Division in Mississippi and Scott County. Our goal is to keep families together. And some of the challenges that families face, especially, in uncertain economic times, it becomes more apparent that drug addiction, substance abuse, lack of employment, there are transportation issues. There are all kinds of things that can put stress on the family unit that can lead to families to experience neglect, sometimes through no fault of their own, or abuse as a result of increased stress and family units that are falling apart. The family's the basis of everything. They're what creates safe and happy homes for kids who attend school and then go on to meaningful jobs, and it's our future. The thing about state involvement for me, and I can say this because I have worked for a lot of nonprofit groups. I've worked with welfare recipients who are transitioning off welfare and needed assistance with, different things that weren't paid for anymore by the state. I've worked with programs that provide a lot of services to families. And the thing that the state brings is it brings legitimacy. It brings accountability. We are accountable to the public. Everybody that I come into contact with has a perception about state workers. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. So I see my role to be, I'm kind of the person that they come into contact with on the front line. I'm the person that they can either take away a positive reaction to me or a negative based on whether I can provide them with information that is accurate, information that they can depend on, and I can link them with services in the community because I'm from the community. I work with law enforcement. I work with the juvenile office. I have a cell phone that's filled with service providers. If somebody comes to me and says, you know what, Tammy, we're about to lose our house, I can't pay rent, I've lost my job, I've got 2 little kids, what am I going to do? I can say, call Gina at DAOC, because Gina at DAOC can get you in a motel for a couple of days, and we can get you in an emergency shelter. And I think that people recognize that I'm a state employee. I don't have anything to gain by making these referrals. I'm trying to help them. That's my goal, is to provide assistance to these families with whatever problem they have. And quite frankly, if I don't know where to go, I've got access to people who can tell me where to go and what to do. And if there's not a program available, I can tell them that too, Well, my thoughts about taxes are that that's the price we pay for being Americans. We are the most respected. We have the highest standard for how we treat the poor, the sick, the elderly, children, the most vulnerable. And our taxes go to support those groups, but they don't only go to support those groups, Kelly. I mean, any time one of us drives down a public highway, that's taxpayer supported. If we take our kids to a park and let them slide down a slide or swing in a well-maintained swing, that's taxpayer supported. If we take our mother to the Social Security office to get her widow's benefits after her husband's died, that's supported by federal and state taxes. And I think a lot of people, they don't personalize that. It's that their mindset is, I don't take advantage of any kind of social network, but they do. I think that in our counties, because we live in a very rural area, a huge farming, lots of farms in this community, I think if there wasn't a presence in Mississippi and Scott County, just as as an example, basically what would happen to a lot of poor people is they just fade away. Okay, they're not going to be, their services won't be provided for them, and they just will continue to live in poverty, and we won't know about it. And there may be people that think that that's better, that if we don't know, it is better, but I know that that's not true. And that's where I think having a person in that place that has community connections, because I mean, I can't go to the grocery store without having somebody come up to me, because now they think I know everything about child support enforcement, about the Children's Division, about Social Security. And it's not that I do, but it's that if they ask me, I have this curiosity that I'm like, I'm going to find out. I'll write your number down and I'll call you back. And then I do call them back. And I think that, and there are a lot of workers like that, don't get me wrong, because we talk about this kind of stuff. And I think that's what our role is to say, you know what, you don't have to give up now. We can only solve one problem at a time, but we can help you solve this problem, and then when we get this problem solved, we'll work on that problem. And, I guess that's, to go back to the whole thing about taxes, is that's what taxes does. It solves problems. Okay, we're gonna make sure that these little ones who go to the Herms Elementary School have a healthy lunch and a snack every day. Okay, we're gonna, we'll put so much money towards that. We'll put so much money towards this. And you know what? I'm down with that. I think that's a good way to spend our money. So sign me up for that.